Good morning. So what day is it? Hump day! Mike. You know, I ought to be a singer. So first of all, Dolores Moyer watches every one of these videos and has commented tirelessly. And it's her husband Mort's birthday today. And Mort was my basketball coach in 7th grade, 8th grade, high school. Wonderful guy and a wonderful coach. Her son and I went to school together for a period of time. So happy birthday to Mort and hello Dolores. So Spanx. Today we're talking about the story of Sarah Blakely, and I had the chance to see her speak and meet her at a business mastery event where she came to. If you haven't seen Sarah tell her story, there's a YouTube video out there. You know, please check it out sometime today. She is full of energy and vivacious and just open and excited all the time. And you can tell that that was her personality from the very beginning. So she graduates from college. She's still living at home, and she's selling fax machines door to door, which she had literally done for years because she couldn't find a job in the business community because she was a woman. She was in Georgia. She had saved $5,000 selling these fax machines door to door. And she was on her way to a party, and she didn't feel like she looked very good. So she wanted something that controlled her, as she says, her butt while she was at the party. And she realized that there was nothing on the market that really did something like that. There were girdles, but there wasn't anything that controlled your rear end. And so she took a pair of control top pantyhose and cut off the legs and wore them to the party and she says, I felt amazing at the party. I felt thinner, I felt more comfortable, and realized right then that this is what she wanted to do, was she wanted to create this product. She had $5,000, she had a business degree, she had no experience in clothing at all. She had no experience running her own business other than being an independent contractor as a salesperson. And by the way, if there's a business that you're going to break into, the clothing business is about as difficult as it gets because it's just like the record industry. It's essentially controlled by a few players. And if you try to start anything up, they will just copy what you're doing and bury you in court. And it's virtually impossible to do. So she comes up with this idea. So the first thing that she wants to do is she wants to patent it. So she calls the Chamber of Commerce for her home state. There isn't a single female patent attorney in the entire state. She wanted to hire a woman. So she starts talking to patent attorneys about her idea. Well, they want $5,000, which, by the way, is about right, in order to perfect her patent, to prosecute her patent. Well, that's all the money that she had. So she went to Barnes & Noble and got a book on how to do patents and started writing her own patent. In the meantime, she found out that all of the hosieries mills in the United States are in the Carolinas, North Carolina. So she called them all up with her idea. Well, they all hung up the phone. So while she was teaching herself how to write a patent, she started driving around and going to them door to door. She finally stopped at one that she said you could tell wasn't doing that great, and he poo-pooed the idea, but his daughters said the idea was fantastic. So he agreed to produce them at a discounted rate. So now she goes back. So now she's got a guy that's going to make them for her. So now she goes back and starts talking to the hosiery people that are wholesalers in her area. And at first she's just asking questions. She hasn't disclosed her idea. Well, as she's talking to them, she starts to learn that she's talking to a group of men. There is nobody who's a female who is in the process of making this product that's only worn by females. So as she's talking to the mill guy about how they make them, she starts learning things like they never have talked to a woman about sizing. They have a size chart on the side of their factory that was made by a man that just says this is this size, this is this size, this is this size. Another thing that she learned, the waistline is the same thickness no matter the size. So whether you're super petite or not super petite, your waistband is the same. She also found out that in order to save money, they had put a piece of plastic in the waistband so that they didn't break as quickly as opposed to using more high quality products. So when she tells the story, she says, so a little tiny girl gets the same waistband as a larger girl, and all of us get our sides cut in half by these waistbands halfway through the day because we're miserable because they're cutting into us and killing us. Nobody had looked at why the feet of pantyhose never fit right and were very painful. Again, no woman had ever been involved in doing this. So now she's got a lot of ideas. She's got somebody that'll make it. She had written her own patent, learned how to do it. So this is, we're a couple of years into this, right? She's still selling fax machines in order to live. She had written her own patent, went to a patent attorney, finally found one where she said, look, I've written everything. All you have to do is file this. And the attorney said, okay, I'll do that for $700. So now she's got her patent. So now she started doing her own packaging. She went and looked at all the packaging that everybody else does. She hated it. One of the things about her is whatever the industry said you should do, Sarah basically did the opposite. Didn't listen to anybody and had zero experience. And of course, everybody told her that it wasn't going to work, except for women who told her that it was going to work. She then needed a name. And she wanted it to be something fun. And she had heard a comedian say one time that if you do something with the letter K in it, that it'll end up funny. And I don't remember who the comedian was. I don't know that she says in her story. Sounds like a Seinfeld story. But the whole bit was how things with the letter K in them are funny. And she was driving around and she's going, K, I want something with K. I want something with K. And I want it to be funny. I want it to be cute. I want it to be playful. And the word spank came across her vision. And then she pulled over and she did Spanx with an X. And she said, it's cute, it's playful, it's funny, and it has a K sound. And she thought it kind of had a double entendre meaning that fit what she was trying to do. Her words, make it so that all of our fannies look and feel better. So she immediately went to the UnitedStates.gov website and patented the word Spanx, and Spanx was born. So she'd now spent about $2,000 of her $5,000, and she started to produce the product. Now, there's more to this story, so your homework for today is go listen to her story because she now had to try to promote this product. Nobody would distribute it for her. She didn't sign any deals with any other manufacturers. She didn't do a licensing play. She owns 100% of this company. She took her $5,000 with no experience, but her burning desire, and she made a decision. She said, I am absolutely going to bring this product to life, and I am absolutely going to be successful manufacturing this product. She burned all of her bridges and left nothing else as an option. She ended up becoming a self-made billionaire and only the second female self-made billionaire in the United States, in the world, excuse me. She prioritized the hiring of women in her company. And they would go to these trade shows where there was nothing but men talking about pantyhose and just laugh at all of the stuff that they would do because they had no idea because they never wore this product. How the clothing industry decided that only men should decide how something only worn by women should be dealt with, shows you how inaccurate that was, that she sold her product that well that she became a billionaire. Now she owns part of a basketball team, I believe, or she owns part of a professional franchise. But she had to go and promote this herself. She would promote it on the radio. She would promote it in the newspaper and set up these guest events where she would sell them. And she would hire people to show up and buy them so that there was a crowd, because when there's a crowd, then more people would come over and they would actually start buying all of the stuff. So she was just about out of money when then Oprah discovered her product, and the Oprah effect gave her her first launch. But again, she didn't leave that to chance. She sent Oprah and all of her people Spanx so that they could all look at them and they could all try them out. Her passion, her desire, and her vision are really what you want to look at. She'll tell you that the biggest asset of anybody in business is don't be afraid to make a mistake, because she made tons. Don't be afraid to try something that's not going to work. Don't be afraid to fail. Press forward with everything that you've got, and if you look at her desire and her ambition and the energy with which she pursued this particular idea, that shows you what it takes in order to truly evolve something like she's done. And it also shows you that anybody can do it. She had no experience, she had no connection, she had no nothing. $5,000 into well over $1 billion, and she owns 100% of the company. And she did it her way. She did not compromise. She didn't listen to the naysayers when they told her it wasn't going to work. She didn't listen to the people that said you had to do it a certain way. She looked at it and she said, this is what makes sense to me. This is what I'm going to do. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Watch her YouTube video. She's incredible. I adore this lady, and she's a true inspiration as to how to actually accomplish something outstanding. We're all in this together, everybody. Have a great Wednesday. Let's take care of each other.